Imagine this. You're walking through the streets of Europe about 400 years ago. The city is unusually quiet. Shops are closed. The smell in the air is unbearable. People are dying from a disease nobody understands. Then you see someone slowly walking toward you. A long black coat, leather gloves, a white-brimmed hat, a wooden cane, and instead of a human face, a giant bird's beak. It looks like something straight out of a horror movie. But here's the part almost everyone gets wrong. This wasn't a monster. It was your doctor. So why would a doctor wear something this terrifying? And did it actually work? To answer that, we need to forget everything we know about modern medicine, because 400 years ago, nobody knew bacteria even existed. Today, we know the plague is caused by a bacterium called Yersinia pestis, usually spread by fleas living on infected rats. But back then, doctors had a completely different explanation. They believed diseases traveled through poisoned air. They called it miasma. And honestly, if you had lived back then, you probably would have believed the same thing. Think about it. Everywhere people got sick. The air smelled awful. So to them, the bad smell didn't just come with the disease. It looked like it was causing it. And the single belief changed the design of one of history's most famous masks. The long beak wasn't there to make doctors look like birds. It wasn't there to scare people either. It was actually a giant air filter. Inside the hollow beak, doctors stuffed fragrant herbs and spices. Rosemary, lavender, mint, cloves, sometimes even sponges soaked in vinegar. They believed pleasant smell would purify the poisoned air before it reached their lungs. The longer the beak, the more time the air had to be cleaned. At least that's what they believed. Here's something I find fascinating. Some doctors spend a surprising amount of money filling those masks with expensive herbs and spices. Not because they wanted to smell nice, but because they truly believed those plants could mean the difference between life and death. Of course, none of it actually killed bacteria, but here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The mask wasn't completely useless. In fact, some parts of the outfit accidentally move in the right direction. Plague doctors didn't just wear the mask, they covered almost their entire body. A long waxed coat, leather gloves, high boots, a wide-brimmed hat. Very little skin was exposed. They also carried a wooden cane, not as a weapon, and not because patients were violent. They used it to point at wounds, lift blankets, or ask patients to move without touching them directly. They had no idea what germs were. But avoiding unnecessary contact turns out wasn't such a bad idea after all. So did the plague doctor mask work? No, not in the way its creators hoped. The herbs couldn't stop bacteria, the beak couldn't filter disease, and the plague continued to spread. But calling these doctors foolish would completely miss the point. They were trying to solve an impossible problem with the best knowledge they had, and that's exactly how science has always worked. People make observations, they form ideas. They test those ideas. Some turn out to be wrong, and those mistakes lead to better answers. Here's what fascinates me the most. Today, we look at this strange bird mask, and it's easy to laugh. How could anyone believe herbs inside a giant beak could stop a deadly disease? But let me ask you something. 400 years from now, which medical treatments that we trust today will people look back on and laugh at? Because science has never been about always being right. It's about getting a little less wrong, one discovery at a time. So the next time you see a plague doctor in a movie, a game, or a Halloween costume, don't just see a creepy mask. See a reminder of humanity doing its absolute best to fight an invisible enemy long before anyone even knew what they were fighting.